I thought, ooh, I'm going to give this game a go. Mostly because I saw my friend Donut playing it on Twitch. You should go and follow him. He's great. He's just starting out, so he could get all the support that he needs, so go and do that. So, let's get into Chicken Police. The Poultry Constables.
I ran out to get a pack of cigarettes, but I left my wallet at home. Yeah, that's me. I'm getting old. My name is Sonny Featherland, an investigator for 20 years, and once the star of the predatory division of the Clawville Police Department, one half of the legendary Chicken Police.
I like how he's got a bullet hole.
But buying a pack of smokes is more than I can handle right now. Maybe I should just lay low. Yeah, I'll do that. The most colorful place in the wilderness. For all the gods, what bullshit. The last clucking color left this city years ago. And slowly I'll turn gray too.
I love this already. Just
Still,
everything about it.
We're living in a vast experiment, and don't even notice that everything got clucked up a long time ago. We believe in this wonderland of peaceful coexistence. Wolves and sheep, chickens and hounds. Yeah, sure, why not? It's just ridiculous. The dog eats the chicken. It's in our nature. I'm not propping up the illusion anymore. 121 days, and it's over. Retirement. What could possibly go wrong?
Hello.
Ah, crap. My office lock is a piece of shit if a dame can pick it. She stood in the darkness. The light painted stripes on her body. It whispered secret little things that were never there in the first place. But she was no zebra. Reality was just a light switch away. Elizabeth or Charlotte? I was sure she'd have a sophisticated-sounding name. She had a bygone look in her eyes, older than this ancient building, and perhaps the whole city itself. Or maybe I'm just drunk.
Possibly.
But she was the first womanly thing in my place for a long time, so I had to give her a chance.
Let
Speak.
me introduce myself. My name is Deborah, Miss Deborah Ibanez.
As the wonderful waitress in Spain told me, it's not I, it's E. So it's Ibanez. Or something to that effect. It's definitely not Ibanez. Come on. Good God, they've actually blended. Like, that's just a normal... Oh God, that's... This has slid very quickly into Uncanny Valley.
You're mistaken, ma'am.
Oh, really? Please enlighten me, Mr. Featherland.
I'm not a private eye. I'd recommend Mr. FilmoraPro instead of me. He's a nice guy.
Believe me, Mr. Featherland, it's not an accident I came to you.
Look, miss, I work for the police, and I'm currently on leave. I couldn't accept private commissions even if I wanted to. Not even from a classy dame like you.
Can I just say, that voice actor is impeccable.
Am I that easy to read?
That's my job. But tell me, since you've invited yourself in, would you like a drink?
I don't usually drink.
Well, I've got to have one. And it'd be rude of me to drink alone. So, maybe some sherry?
If you insist. But bourbon, please.
Ah, thank the wild ones. That's all I have.
What a coincidence.
So come on, spill it from the beginning.
I was about to say it's a bit harsh, but she kind of was in your house? Your house office. No, without express permission, so maybe, yeah, be a little bit tough on her. I wasn't paying attention. What popped up in the corner of the screen? Codex. There's a lot of text. Right, so people. She runs errands for her employer. That's never a good thing. A sophisticated lady, but I don't think she's from a particularly wealthy or influential family. Deborah Ibanez. She's an Impala. Pretty and fragile, nothing too special. Fair enough. This used to be a nice place. Now we're competing who gets swallowed by decay first. The hotel's winning, but honestly, I'm not that far behind. Codex. This is going to be like the glossary. Chicken Police is a famous detective duo. Santino Sonny Featherland and Marty McChicken. Gained fame through a case the press called the Bloody New Year's Eve. Ooh, delightful. They flew, high for almost 10 years when a fateful brawl put an end to their legend. There's a series of novels about them by Meredith H. Marble. They had published 10 books over the course of 7 years before the series faded out of public interest, as did the Chicken Police themselves. Isn't it bizarre to write a book based on actual living people, but it's also a fictional book? That's weird. Cloville's been an independent city-state for more than 900 years, good god. During the city's foundation, 4 nations had joined forces, represented by the 4 animal figures and the 4 heads of the crest of chlorophyll. In reality, the tribal alliance of the reptiles and the great insect clans had also played an essential part in the city's founding, but they never got to be represented on the crest. Ooh. They gave birth to a political and cultural antagonism between the species. Chlorophyll preserved its political autonomy, and the dream that it's the only state in the wilderness where predator and prey of any race can live in peace. Hence the name, the City of 1,000 Colours. 3 gods are revered in most places across the wilderness, the Great Wild Ones, and make up the holy trinity of creation, destruction, and silence. Hariti, the goddess of creation. But I'm just gonna assume it's like pterodactyl. Tapti is the lord of destruction, and Nirvatiti is the gentlest ghost of silence and nothingness, keeping the balance between creation and destruction in their never-ending conflict. I have nothing!
That's better. Now, if I understand correctly, your mistress is receiving threats. What kind of threats, exactly?
Bad ones, if they're threats.
It's a very strange matter. First, there were letters. Then it came printed on a wine bottle's label, sent as a gift. Then carved into a brick, thrown through the window. And finally, they painted it on the wall of the house in giant red letters.
Right, okay, so letters I can understand. Then they went through the trouble of specifically printing a label to put on a wine bottle and sent it as a rather thoughtful gift. A threatening gift. And then they just went, fuck it, throw bricks. I'm sensing a bit of a steep curve in the level of escalation here.
I think it's time to dig a little deeper. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you some routine questions.
Please, that's why I'm here.
Clues. The victim, a lady, is the target of some strange threats. All of them are written. Ooh, question. Focus on what you know about the suspect. Is he or she suspicious? Concentrate on that. John Doe. Haha. This fella is rather suspicious. I need to concentrate on that. Focus suspicious. So it tells you what I need to focus on. Impressions suspicious. Detective meter. Okay. Can I just have those as stickers for Telegram? That's great. Gather impressions from the suspect. Every impression adds a new question line. But on the positive side...
I must be cautious and smart. This dame seems shy, which I can use to my advantage. But I must be careful about what I say to her, or I could scare her off. Let's start gently, and when the time comes, we can go in hard.
Phrasing. Must be cautious and smart. The dame seems shy, which I can use to my advantage, but I must be careful about what I say to her, or I could scare her off. Let's start gently. Okay. Who are you exactly?
Who exactly are you, ma'am?
I'm not somebody important, Mr. Featherland.
You're important enough to deal with such a delicate matter, right?
I carry out the wishes of my employer, nothing more. This means simple paperwork, most of the time.
That's odd phrasing. The wishes of my employer. And half the time it's paperwork, so what's the rest of it?
You've been thrown into deep water, sweetheart. Tell me, can you even swim?
Believe me, this is just as unpleasant for me as it is for you, if not even more.
Shy and doubtful. You're not very confident. Well, if you're shy, I'm not going to ask that. You're very confident.
You're not very confident. Are you sure you're all right?
Yes. Excuse me. I'm just a bit nervous. I've never done anything like this before.
Breaking into the apartments of strangers isn't that big a deal. Some people do it as a hobby.
Apparently.
Please don't make fun of me, Mr. Featherland. This is hard for me as it is.
You're right. Sorry.
Oops. What's your star sign? What? Did you come alone?
Did you come alone?
An actual question.
All by yourself?
I took the subway, then the tram, and then I walked. It wasn't easy to find this place, and to be honest, I had to be discreet.
Wasn't easy to find it. Did you not have the address? Surely you could just go, oh, the address is here.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm starting to get the picture.
This is quite unpleasant for me.
As you keep on saying. Right. Frightened. Why did you come to visit me? Why not your employer herself? Do you even know what you want? She knows what she wants. She's just being in...
Why did you come to visit me? Why not
She's
your
being coy.
employer herself?
My employer is Miss Natasha Katsenko. She hasn't been leaving her home lately, only if she really has to.
How so?
Miss Natasha is afraid. She's scared because of those unwanted messages, and everyone knows who she is.
So she's that kind of woman.
I don't know what you mean.
Of course you do, Deborah. Thank you, by the way. We're finally getting somewhere. We avoided the point long enough. Deborah's hiding something, no question. Let's focus on that.
Yeah, this place... She said that this place was quite hard to find. How did you get this address? What do you want from me? Well, detective. What exactly did you expect by coming here to meet me? I'm not going to say that, because she's hiding something, and that's being too direct. Well, first things first. Yeah, how did you get this address? And why are you, you know, in my... what I'm going to assume is like a office house thing.
How did you get this address?
You know, my mistress has exceptional connections.
If they were so exceptional, she wouldn't have chosen me.
Don't be so hard on yourself, detective. You are the head of the famous chicken police. Am I right?
Her tone has suddenly shifted quite harshly.
Was it a raccoon with a scarred face called Zip who recommended me? He hates me.
No, Mr. Featherland. I don't know anyone like that.
Her tone shifted a lot.
Lucky for you, Deborah.
We avoided the point long enough. Deborah is hiding something, no question. Let's focus on that. What do you want from... Okay, I'll just be direct.
What do you want from me?
Me?
Oh, don't be silly, Deborah. I mean your employer. I was just talking to myself, out loud.
Well, Miss Katsenko thinks you're a great detective, and you're also reliable. That's why I came.
Did she also give you the lockpick?
Please, could you let this go? I'm really embarrassed.
Sorry, sweetheart, I'm just teasing you. As soon as I saw you, you were forgiven.
Yeah, sure.
That's very nice of you.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with being nice, Deborah, but you're welcome.
Which is frightened. I'm not going to say that bottom one.
Don't you think this whole thing is a little suspicious?
Look, Santino, I'll explain everything.
I have no doubt about that. You look just the type, sweetheart. No offense.
I'll take that as a compliment. Or maybe I'll act like I haven't heard it.
Both are valid.
You see, we're starting to understand each other. Tell me, Deborah, why should I believe you at all?
Because my mistress trusts you.
Should that be enough?
If you really like what she thinks you are, then yes.
Damn, what can I say to that?
Look, I didn't mean to back you up against the wall.
You have a way with words, sweetheart. Did you ever want to be a cop?
No, not for the world.
Smart answer.
Be honest and tell me what you were so afraid of. Yeah, hiding something and frightened. Well, it's the only option
Be
as well.
honest and tell me what you're so afraid of.
You know, Mr. Featherland, my mistress's partner is Hobart Wessler. Or as most people know him,
Ibn Wessler, the Kingpin.
exactly.
Oh, it's a rat.
Feathery gods, help me.
So you get it now. The secrecy.
To put it mildly, I think I understand it all. Wessler. This little piece of the puzzle changes everything.
Ooh. The employer, Natasha's current significant other, is the infamous gangster Ibn Vessler. Ooh. Interesting. Right. Let's have a look at content. The mysterious messenger, Miss Deborah Ibanez's employer, is a certain Miss Natasha Katsenko. Oh, so it adds to their personal info as you go. That's cool. She's afraid and she's secretive. Or she's just secretive and an outstanding actress. In any case, not everything she told me is true. I'm pretty sure about that, yeah. Her employer currently bolsters the ranks of Ibn Vessler, to put it mildly. This explains the cloud of fear surrounding Miss Ibanez. She has remarkably green eyes and she is definitely in trouble. So am I. Lovely. She's receiving serious threats. Currently the girlfriend of the notorious gangster Ibn Vessler. This explains a lot of things. Mainly the excessive secrecy. Oh, I sneeze in such a way. Alright.
Why don't you take it to the police? Just go there and file a report. Photos, flashing lights, fingerprints. You know the drill. The evidence is very clear. Even a moderately talented detective could easily wrap this case up. Or just try the phone. 555-111.
Please, take a look at this.
Well, okay. Let's see.
Inventory. Interesting.
I know Molly very well. Please note this when deciding whether or not to accept my assignment. Miss Ibanez is a trusted friend. Treat her as gentleman. N.
I felt like I'd been hit on the back of my head with a blackjack.
A blackjack?
Reality tilted. Molly. Good gods. What was her name doing there? I glanced at the opposite wall with the well-worn picture frames. Like an eternally dark hole in the wall. A missing piece. She was wearing a light silk dress and singing a lullaby. The waves caressing her beautiful long legs. Why Molly? Why now?
Mr. Featherland? Santino, are you all right?
Anyway.
What the hell is this supposed to mean?
I don't know anything, Mr. Santino. My mistress told me to give this to you. She said you'd understand. Don't you?
Oh, of course I understand, Miss Ibanez. I get it very well. But this case is becoming more and more confusing. It's starting to look like blackmail.
Blackmail?
Don't play innocent with me.
But
All right. When can I visit?
visit? Me?
Not you. Miss Katsenko.
Oh, yes. You can find her at the Tsar Club.
Didn't you tell me she's not the social kind? That she's especially unsociable? Or does she only like loud and crowded clubs?
Russian name, Tsar Club, she probably owns it.
No, she's really not like that. But she owns the place.
This is suspiciously like the opening to Backbone. Suspiciously like the opening to Backbone. Clearly they've had inspiration from that game.
Judging by the flyer, it must be a very busy club, especially on New Year's Eve, right?
I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding Miss Katsenko, but there's one small problem, Mr. Featherland.
Let me guess. Mr. Wessler better not know about my visit.
Exactly. How did you know?
That's exactly like the opening to Backbone. Oh dear.
20 years experience, ma'am. Oh, and please, call me Sonny.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Sonny.
I'll talk about the rest with Ms. Katsenko in person. A good friend of mine would be happy to take you home if you'd like.
I'd appreciate that, Sonny.
Actually, I never actually looked at the environment. A gun?
My last cigarette. You're lucky I don't have a light, pal.
Ooh.
She doesn't
A
seem so
Magnum.
dangerous that I need to grab my gun, but you never know. My wallet and my badge. The wallet is real. The badge ain't. Chief Bloodboil took mine. So I got this one out of a pack of cornflakes. Just in case.
Oh, that's funny. Such a cliche as well.
Behind that door lies the kingdom of dirty clothes, cigarette butts, and empty bottles. Books I'm never gonna read. Maybe nobody ever has.
What a waste.
The Wild Gentlemen. Those guys rebuilt the city after the Great Fire of 867. My heroes when I was a little chick. I'm starting to think they should have left Clawville as it was, burned to the ground.
Jaded, I think is the word you're looking for. The call for playing the trumpet is just cracking me up. MB Davis. I feel like that's a reference to something.
M.B. Davis, the eternal king of jazz. The photo is from the days of jazz prohibition. I only heard the old man live one time, but I'll never forget that night. And not only because I woke up at the harbor without my gun, my badge, and my pants. This is one of the most beautiful memories from my old life.
Oh dear.
Before Molly left me and took our daughter. The good things in life don't last long. The best ones always leave first. I saw that in the window of a shoe store. I never understood it, or what it had to do with shoes.
All right. Right. New things. People. Lewis. Hobart Vessler. Rat. Good-looking, charismatic. And a clucking gangster. One of the most well-known gangsters of Clawville. Real estate mogul, bank director, museum owner, distiller, smuggler, and information broker. God, he does everything. And that's only the half of what I've heard about him. He has dirty little paws everywhere in the city's underworld. Lewis C. Hayworth. An old friend of mine. He's swearing heavily when he talks. Lewis is the owner of the once reputable Atlas Hotel and a good old friend of mine. At the moment, he's my landlord. It's only the two of us living in this unbelievably enormous hotel. He's crazy about detective stories, and he gladly helps me whenever I ask him. 555923. Oh, it even tells you at the bottom. Cool. 5, 5, 5, 9, 2, 3. Oh. Oh, it's not. It's gonna be 932, isn't it? Did I type that in wrong? I did. 555932. 5, 5, 5, 9, 3, 2.
Hey, Lewis. Am I bothering you?
No. Of course not, Sonny. Old friend, what's up?
I used to have a stutter that was legitimately that bad. I went to speech therapy when I was really young. So I feel for him.
Could you come over? I've got a favor to ask if you're not busy.
For you, anything. Just a minute.
Lewis arrived a few minutes later. He lived in the rooms above, so it wasn't difficult getting here. Not to mention that he's a rabbit. It was a quick hop. The Atlas Hotel was his inheritance. It was once a well-renowned place, but not anymore. The last economic crisis ruined it. And now, besides me, he was the only resident of this enormous place. Thanks for being so quick, Lewis. Can you drive Miss Ibanez home? I have some things to take care of.
Of course, Sonny. You know, anything for you.
Thank you for being so considerate, Sonny. I appreciate it.
Don't mention it.
Goodbye, then.
So long, Deborah. Before I visit the club, I have to take a detour. I've got a feeling that this case isn't going to be a one-man job. And there's only one bird in this city I can trust. My ex-partner, Marty. He's going to be at the station. I can only hope he'll be willing to talk to me.
Let's have a look at this first. It says 3 new items.
I haven't dusted you off in a while, Paul. Ironic, but ever since I've been on furlough, with only
Topical.
my fake badge sitting in my cabinet, I feel more like a cop than I ever had before. More like a Clawville cop, anyway. Oh man, I totally get you.
Fair enough. Right. Map. Main scenes, limited scenes, and closed scenes. Main scenes move the story forward. These scenes also determine which locations open up or close down. You need to complete all of them if you want to beat the game. Interesting. Limited scenes are open for a specific duration, which is determined by the main story progression. If you're a completionist, be sure to visit all of them before you move to the next main scene. Don't give me branching paths or like splinters off the main path, because I'll waste so much time doing them. Closed scenes cannot be reached for the time being. The state will often change throughout the story progression and can be temporary or permanent. Ooh. So let's have a look here. Ratwell, Calavera Hills, Moore Park District, The Fountains, Upper Downtown. So, Clawville Police Department. That's just real footage.
It was New Year's Eve, and I was driving, half drunk,
Irresponsible.
risking my whole life's work. But still, it didn't feel any different. Every day was the same. And the 121 days I had left till my retirement seemed like an eternity. When I look out the window of the hotel room I call home, I see the same thing every day. A woman in a red nightgown dances slowly in circles to smooth music. The 9 o'clock show, with a glass of cheap bourbon and the red gown with the silent music. In the meantime, the proud city of Clawville is slowly eating itself alive. And we're still here, with nothing left to lose but our sanity, while others, the smart ones, had already gone. Molly. Does her name really upset me this much? All those years of solitude, and I still jump without question every time I hear it. And then there's Marty, my ex-partner, who hates me. But I know I have to speak with him, no matter what. Why do I feel like the past is watching me on this goddamn night?
Ooh!
I knew where to find Marty. At the station, we'd always draw straws about holiday duty. Marty never joined in. He always took the New Year's Eve shift, even though he had someone to go home to. I understood. 10 years ago, we survived the night the press called the Bloody New Year. Forgotten by Clawville, but not by us. We...
Oops, wasn't supposed to click off there until he finished. Right, so I think that's a good place to leave the first episode. We've done the prologue, and now we can move on to Chapter 1. So, until next time,